welcome back. Oh man, so here's the question of today. Did you know that there is a railway museum in Danbury, Connecticut? I didn't. Good friend of mine, we were talking. Turns out, not only is there a museum, this guy's the president of it. My name is Vin. Our guest is Stan Madyda.
Hey, Vin. Good to see you.
Stan, you blew my mind. You told me about this museum, and you're the president, and there's wonderful secrets in there. And what is this all about?
Okay. I want to give you a little bit of history, how we started out. Back in the early 90s, the Railroad Museum of New England was looking for a permanent home for their collection. And they came to Danbury with a plan to kind of establish Danbury as the mystic seaport of railroading. And they wanted to rebuild the roundhouse building and some of the shop buildings.
Wow.
They wanted a building for just displaying the rail cars.
And we're not talking about toys.
No,
we're talking about real
these are full-size
rail cars.
Historic freight and passenger cars.
Wow.
And locomotives. They also had an archive building. The station that we have now was going to be the Visitors Welcome Center. And they came to the city of Danbury with a plan, very well thought out and everything, but they needed $6 million.
Only $6 million?
Only $6 million.
What's the problem?
Yeah, which the city didn't have, and they weren't, willing to, go that route with that.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
They rethought everything and pulled out. They've eventually established themselves in Thomaston, Connecticut, and they have a nice little tourist ride up there. But some of the people that were involved on the Danbury level thought that they could still establish a railway museum, grassroots effort, and in March 1994, the museum was incorporated. And I joined the following month. I'm one of the few people that have been there that long.
Yeah, really.
I know the history going way back and a lot of the stories that, probably should remain hidden.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of backstory there.
Yeah, I could probably do a book for you. Be back here in a couple months.
Ow, that's a good idea. We'll take you back again.
Yeah. So we started off with nothing. We leased the rail yard from the state of Connecticut, and we have 10 acres of land out there. And when we first started, there was nothing there.
What motivated you, Stan? You just had a love of trains? Or?
Yeah. Well, since I was like 3 years old, we had a summer place up in the Catskill Mountains between Kingston and Saugerties. And it was just like, a camp type thing. And the trains would run back and forth. And, as a little 3-year-old, I'd be out there, waving at the trains.
Cheering every time the train came.
Oh, yeah. And, that developed my interest. And, of course, when I was 5 years old, I got my first Lionel train set, which, was like the thing to get when you were a kid in the late 50s or, early 60s. Except if you're a rider, you probably got a typewriter.
Yeah, right.
It was just something that developed with me over the years and everything. So
the idea for the museum grew?
Yeah. I got involved very early on. I just joined as a member. Wasn't thinking I was going to be doing much in the beginning. As we were getting established, we had built a G-gauge layout at one of the office buildings in Danbury on Main Street. There's a local bank building, and they gave us money towards buying the equipment and everything. And, I went over there one day and helped out a little bit, not doing a whole heck of a lot. And it was for a Christmas display. So when that was unveiled on Thanksgiving weekend, they had a sign made up and thanked everybody, and my name was on there. And I said to the guy,
"Oh, wow!"
Yeah, I said to the guy who organized this, "Geez, I really didn't do that much." And he said to me, "Well, you did some work
it wouldn't
that
have happened without you.
Freed up somebody else to do more of a major project." And I thought, well, geez, with that kind of an attitude, maybe I want to become a little more involved with them. So, started out just doing a lot of volunteer work. Worked on some of the excursion trains that we did. To raise money early on, we did what was called the Holiday Express that went nonstop from Danbury into Manhattan. We had Santa Claus on train.
Oh, wow.
cookies and refreshments and everything. It was kind of like a shopper's, holiday thing. People had about 4 hours in the city to do whatever they wanted, and then,
Wow.
I worked as a car host for the longest time. You get assigned a car, you just go up and talk.
You didn't have to wear
people.
one of those little hostess aprons or anything, did you?
No, we had red hats and jackets.
Oh, cool.
And it was really funny because we would wait in the concourse area of Grand Central Terminal just before the train were to leave, so that people coming back would ask, "Oh, gee, which track is our train on?" and everything. And we ended up, because we kind of looked official, we ended up getting a lot of questions from regular Metro North customers.
Yeah.
What's the next train to Scarsdale? And we tell them.
Yeah, it's funny. Now, so then eventually you got this building with a sign in front of it. I think we even have a...
Yeah, that's that was the old Danbury Union Station, and the city of Danbury now owns that building. We lease it from them for $1 a year.
Wow.
And we've established the
there we go.
museum
Danbury
inside.
Railway Museum.
Yep.
Cool. We have it on screen.
Mm-hmm. And that was our first real building that we could actually start putting things in.
And when you say putting things in, what kind of things?
Well, we have model trains. We have
Wow.
a reference and research library, archives.
And you have
smaller
regular
displays.
visiting hours? People can come and see these things?
Yeah.
Nice.
We're open, right now we're open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 to 4, and on Sunday from 12 to 4.
Wow.
And after Memorial Day weekend, we go to a more advanced schedule for the summertime. But so we get ourselves established in there, and we started adding exhibits and all sorts of displays. Now, one of the things that the station is famous for is Alfred Hitchcock's movie, Strangers on a Train.
Really?
Some of the opening,
That's what they used?
Some of the opening scenes were filmed right at the station.
Wow.
And
that was before you were a museum?
oh yeah, that was done back in 1950.
Wow.
Fortunately, there was a student from the university down the street that came by one day with her camera, and she took a lot of candid photos of Alfred Hitchcock, Farley Granger, Robert Walker.
Wow.
And once we got established, she shared them with us. So we have a little display showing
nice.
this. Yeah. We wish there were more things, but you're talking 1950s. Not everybody had a camera like today.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true. It was a big thing to have photos back then. Today you get 90 pictures of one scene in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So
it's a big difference.
So that was one of our earlier claims to fame.
So now there is a strange myth
Okay. Yes.
that's connected to the museum. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, that's the FDR car.
The Franklin Delano Roosevelt car.
That's what it's known as, and it's a total myth. This car was built in 1911.
There it is. Wow.
For the New York Central Railroad. It's an old baggage car. There were 10 of them built, and in 1964, 3 of them were converted into maintenance of way equipment cars, meaning people that worked on the track of the railroad. This
Needed
was one
a
of
place to put their
this would be used for
supplies.
tools and whatever. It eventually.
What a difference from FDR's car to a supply train.
Yeah, well, no, see, it was never FDR's car. And that's where the myth comes
Where
in.
did it come from, huh?
Well, eventually the car ended up under the Waldorf Astoria.
Oh,
Okay, on a little storage track, and some people always thought that, okay, maybe FDR used this to transport his car, his limousine. Well, the width of the doors that they would have to get a presidential limousine through, like 9 feet wide. You could do it with a Fiat maybe, but not a presidential car. But one of the spokesmen for Metro North heard this, and he just started to talk about this myth. And he got it to the point where he would say
People
that...
believed it.
Yeah, people would believe it. Well, the BBC did an episode on it. The History Channel,
Wow.
the Today Show.
So they bought it.
Oh, yeah, they bought this hook, line, and sinker. And like I said, in reality, it was a tool car.
Yeah, a tool car.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But part of the story was that he would say it was armor plated and had heavy duty wheels and trucks.
And it went supposedly from the Waldorf to where, Grand Central Station?
No. There's a track right in Grand Central underneath the Waldorf.
Wow.
So it eventually was just stored there.
Oh, so it never really went anywhere.
No, it was used on work train service, and as a baggage car, it was
Wow.
used on passenger trains.
But they believed that FDR actually did ride in it.
Yeah, and there was no way to do it. Now, FDR did have his own private car.
But that wasn't it.
No, that's down in Florida right now. But they
So
thought,
you guys packed it up and brought it to your museum?
well, it took a while to get it.
Yeah.
It was part
They
of...
didn't throw it in somebody's trunk or anything?
No, it needed to be moved, a special move and everything. So just before it was put under the Waldorf, it was used as a tool car for the double-ended crane, which is what we have on the museum site too.
Wow.
The double-ended crane, there were only 3 of them built, and this was used for any kind of derailments in the tunnels of Grand Central Terminal. So there was one built for the New York Central, Grand Central Terminal, also for Penn Station, and also for Detroit, because they had tunnels that went from Detroit to Windsor, Ontario. So yeah, the double-ended crane is on showing now, and that was loaned to us by Metro North, and the baggage car was the tool car.
And that's still available to be seen at the museum?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
there. That's there.
Wow.
So
So you have both an outdoor and an indoor exhibit at the museum.
yeah.
So this is a nice place to bring the kids on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
When the weather does get warmer, we do have train rides.
Is there a donation?
Yeah, it's $7 admission.
And it's
yeah.
a donation, it's
Yeah.
nonprofit.
Yeah, and,
just to
and
keep the museum going.
if you ride the train, it's an additional $3. And we start the trains
Oh,
up again.
it actually moved. The
Well,
train.
yeah, we have a small train ride that we can only go within
Yeah.
our rail yard, which is 10
So
acres.
it makes for a nice afternoon.
Yeah, so it's a 20-minute ride, which we're finding that for the younger kids and their attention span is just about right.
Yeah, right.
For the
right.
train enthusiasts, they want to actually go out on the rails.
I know you mentioned Catskills. I know they have rides up there.
Yeah.
Or trains that ride up there. Kids love it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was on there myself, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I can imagine this would be fun right in Danbury.
Yeah. Well, Catskill, they have a nice little ride up there, like
Yeah.
you said, and we of course would have liked to have had a spot where we could run some trains, for a half hour.
But you're in
an hour or
Danbury.
so. Yeah, and it's the ownership of the track too.
Yeah.
We have a freight company that owns part of the track around our area, and Metro North owns the other track. So to go out on the actual rails means that we have to get insurance. We have to have
Permission,
qualified crews, and we
Yeah, that could be
it might
difficult.
happen someday, but don't know if it will.
Yeah,
Not
right
in the
away.
near future.
So you help to decide what's in there. Do the displays change often, or you keep pretty much the same displays and exhibits?
Right now, the exhibits are pretty much set. Yeah, we've
But
got.
worth seeing.
Yeah, definitely. We would like to start showing some different things in the museum on more of a rotating basis, and we do have a committee that's set up to look into
And is
this.
there like a curator, someone who, takes people around, or is it pretty much on your own, right?
Well, If you come during the week and there's enough volunteers and you want somebody to take you on a yard tour,
They would.
you can do that. But we found too that people would just like to go out on their own,
Yeah, yeah.
wander outside, walk through the museum.
Yeah, and they can go in the trains?
Some of them are open.
Wow.
Not all of them because of
Not
safety
the
reasons.
FDR one?
No.
No. And no more tools in there, right?
No. Before Metro North donated the car to us, well, actually, a bill of sale for $1.
Wow.
Yeah, they took out everything because.
So this museum is expensive. You paid about $5 for it.
Yeah. Some of the stuff we did, but.
What is this here?
Okay, that's our Boston and Maine steam engine. Early on, we thought that a steam engine would be a big attraction for the museum, and we bought that off of a railroad up in Cape Cod. And
Wow.
it's being restored right now. There's a young man, actually, he lives in Hopewell Junction. He's in his early 20s, and he's the project manager for that.
Really?
Yeah,
Early
so-
20s? He wasn't even around when that was around.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be a long way before it ever gets running as far as, man
Yeah.
hours and
But
costs.
they do intend to get it running?
Maybe
dream.
it's
a dream.
a pipe dream, but
Okay.
just to get what he's done is he's gotten some of the parts working so that he can show how some of the
that's
parts
good.
on the steam engine work. And we can go up inside the cab of that, and you can ring the bell of the locomotive.
that's
and
cool.
everything.
Kids would love that.
Yeah. So that's been a big attraction for the museum.
Nice.
And
what is this here?
And that's our Bud car. That was a piece of, it was originally built for the New Haven Railroad. And a Bud car is the name of the manufacturer. And they were used for some of the rail lines that didn't have a lot of passenger traffic. If you could think of, before the line went into Wassaic, from Brewster North up to Wassaic, a Bud car was used on that a lot because you just didn't have the patronage. You didn't need to run a big train.
Yeah, who wants to go to Wassaic? No.
Well, no, a lot of people did.
I
I
know,
have
they
a
do.
funny story about that, too.
Well, go ahead. You can tell that.
Oh,
But, Wassaic,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, that's where I went with a very good friend of mine, Dick Muscarella, who was the Putnam County historian. And I think that's where they used to do the auctions, the live auctions,
Yes.
livestock
Yeah.
auctions. Oh my God, what a wonderful experience! Where they sold cows and calves and geese and chickens, and it was wonderful. And they would do their thing, and they do all their thing, and farmers were actually bought their livestock there.
Oh, yeah. And up until about, I guess the early 90s, they were getting freight traffic up there. There was a box factory, which used to be an old Borden's creamery, and also the feed mill, which I think they've repurposed into an art building now.
I remember that, an old
Yeah.
big brick building. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. So, so the Bud car was used for a lot of the little branch lines, and we use that a lot for some of our rides in the yard, especially for the Santa Claus train, which we do in December, because the car has heat, and it's a very comfortable car to ride in.
Holy cow.
And we decorate it up, and
Yeah,
a
that's a lot of
nice
fun.
Christmassy thing.
And you played Santa Claus.
No, I haven't
No.
played Santa Claus yet. It almost
But it
happened.
might happen.
Almost happened this year.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, somebody suggested it.
Uh-oh.
But no, we have
So
three.
what is this?
That's our event car, and that's where during the Santa Claus trains, for instance, we fix up that end car there as Santa's little home, whatever, workshop, and people come in. We have a little train layout that works, Christmas tree, a lot of holiday decorations. We've cleaned up the car a lot this year. We added some things, and Santa Claus is there with Mrs. Claus, and parents
Cool.
come with their kids. We have 3 volunteers who play Santa Claus, and they do a superb job. You know, they don't rush the kids or anything. I was there this year, and the person that was last online, you figure, okay, you know, nobody wants to be last online, but Santa spent about 10 minutes with the children, you know, just talking about what's in the car and the train layout and everything. And I just said to myself, you know, you're not going to get this at the mall.
Yeah, that's right.
So we use that for the Santa train, and also coming up in April, we have the Easter Bunny trains.
Oh,
so again, you know, we redecorate the car.
You know, I hate to say this, Stan, but there's people who don't even know this thing exists. What a wonderful way to spend an afternoon with your kids.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, to bring them out there and let them see the trains, teach them a little bit about history.
Yeah.
And it's a hands-on experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're not looking at pictures. They're actually in the trains.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of kids like to come in. We had, I was there the other day, and we had a mother and a little boy come in. He couldn't have been more than 3. And he just went nuts when he got into the museum. He just loved the trains.
Yeah, so
we
much
have some
to see.
operating layouts that they can push a button and watch the trains run.
And you know, there's a lot of those 80-year-old 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Who, when they were kids, this was part of their lives.
Oh, of course,
and so
yeah.
a chance to go in and remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember, you know, I grew up in Utica, New York, and the train station's wonderful.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It is, yeah.
And you go out there, and I remember standing out there. My father used to take me out, or we'd have relatives who came in, and they'd come in on this train, and I'd see all this steam and the sounds. It was just absolutely beautiful. Even in the winter when it was so cold, it was just beautiful. And you sit there and waiting, then you hear the announcer say that, you know, train coming in from New York City, track 3, and you went in a tunnel and you came up in the middle where the train was coming up, just to bring those days back. It's wonderful that history is being relived right here in Danbury.
Yeah.
You know, you're so close to Putnam County.
Yeah, yeah. We draw a lot of visitors from Putnam County, from Westchester, and of course Fairfield County. And occasionally people will take the train up from the city into Danbury because the Metro North stop is right there.
Oh, wow.
And they'll walk over to the museum.
So you can take a train to the museum.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like fun. So, anything else you can think about? Here's another photo. What is this?
That's just some of our locomotives that we have on
How
display.
many trains you have over there, Stan?
We have about 70 pieces of equipment.
Wow.
Yep, we
it's
have
quite
everything. We have everything in Danbury. Plus, we own 4 locomotives up in Albany.
Wow.
Now, that's kind of an interesting story
yeah,
too,
so
because
what happened to you? And what is this? There's another one.
that's a New York Central wooden caboose.
That's an oldie.
Yeah, that was built in 1909, and I've been working on the restoration of that. It was in service from 1909 to 1968, and it was donated to us. And when we got it, it had a lot of water damage, and we've been working on it, you know, for a number of years. You know, the problem is that we don't have a shop building, so a lot of the work's got to be done outside. You know, when we cut a piece of wood, we have to go over to the wood shop, cut the piece of wood, bring it back, figure out, oh, geez, we left it a quarter, or a quarter inch too long, and go back and forth. It's
yeah, that could be a pain.
yeah, but there were about 2,000 of those cabooses of that style, and I've kind of found about 20 like that throughout the country that are
Holy cow.
that particular class of caboose from the New York
So
Central.
this is an opportunity to see things that don't exist
Yeah.
too many places.
No, no. And, you know, the locomotives up in Albany, one of them is the prototype locomotive built by Alco and General Electric for electric service into Grand Central Terminal.
Now, is there a museum up there as well?
No, no, these are on a piece of land.
So here's a phone number.
Okay, yes. You can call that number for information, visit our website. The website's being redone right now, but you can still get onto the old one.
Oh, that's good. And so they can call and just say, hey, look, are you open such and such a time? And
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and we have programs every Wednesday night starting at 7:30. We try to do a
Programs every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Starting at 7:30.
7:30, yeah. They run about an hour.
Nice.
We try to do slides. A lot of people have slide collections that we try
Now,
to share.
7:30 these days is pretty dark.
Yeah.
Do you have lights there in the yard?
No, we don't open in the yard at night.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just the actual museum
Yeah,
there.
so-
there we are, Danbury Railway Museum,
Yeah.
120 White Street, Danbury.
Yep.
Now that would be like what, exit 5 off the
Yes, it's exit 5 if you're coming from Putnam County.
84?
Yeah, if you're coming from the opposite direction, it's either exit 5 or exit 6.
Beautiful. And should be able to find it without a problem because you have an address.
Yeah.
You could use a GPS.
Yeah, and
Nice.
we also have, it's not part of the museum, but it's part of our parking lot, we also have the world's tallest Uncle Sam statue,
Really?
which was at one point part of the Danbury Fair. And when the fair closed, it went up to Lake George, to one of the amusement parks up there. You might have seen it when you were
Yeah, I
up
probably
there.
did because I go up there.
Yeah.
My daughter lives up there, so
Yeah.
I go up there quite a bit.
Yeah, so the amusement park was doing something different with their facilities. The statue became available. The city arranged to bring it down and set it up in our
Nice.
in our
Good place
parking
to
lot.
bring
Yeah,
it. Kids could take a picture
yeah,
under it. That's
yeah.
Makes for a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Stan, this is absolutely great. We have about a minute left.
A minute, jeez.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Don't waste it.
Okay.
So the museum's available. It's the best times to go is on a Wednesday night
Yeah, when we have our programs.
or on a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, Saturdays, we're open.
Saturday
yeah,
too?
Yep, and during the week, Wednesday through Friday.
So spring would be nice when the weather's nice. You can go
Yeah.
out in the yard.
Yeah, walk
and go-
around.
and they can go in and out of these things. They can actually
Yeah.
go in the train.
Yep, some of them
Oh,
we have
man.
open, and we have a railroad post office car.
Oh, wow.
That's very popular, and
Yeah, a lot to see, a lot to do.
yeah, and we're always in need of volunteers to come out and help us out.
All right, so if you love it and you'd like to volunteer, they have openings.
Mm-hmm.
Come learn about the trains, become a pro in a couple of those big units.
Yep,
Stan, can't thank you enough, buddy.
Vinny.
This has been great.
Yeah.
I will definitely try to get over there.
Okay, yeah.
When my grandkids come to visit, I'll bring them up there.
All right, let me know when you're coming.
But go, I
You
will.
get
I'll do that.
You'll get a behind-the-scenes tour.
Oh, nice. See that? Special treatment.
Yeah.
Hey.